going to just relax our bodies in a comfortable seated pose. Any easy seat that feels good for you. May you find your position as we are using our seat to help relax, wind down our mind and bodies. Tummies are tucked in at the navel. Spinal cords are nice and elongated, meaning we are not sunken. Having that nice elongated spine, noticing that your pelvic bone tilts forward with that elongated spine. Our chest, our heart chakra lifts up. That's a nice elongated spine. Also, relaxing those shoulders downward away from the ears. Eyes slightly gaze down to close, taking a nice deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Breathe in deeply. Exhale fully. And taking a moment to notice how the breath feels within the body as we breathe our palms at heart center, coming into a seated prayer. And in our prayer, maybe use this time to go inward, self-reflect and rewind. And unwind for 4 breaths. Two more breaths. And now we're going to breathe our palms up in the air, reaching our palms up towards the ceiling, towards the heavens, feeling that stretch, keeping our pelvic bone tilted forward, our heart chakras lifted, our chin is up. Nice deep stretch. If we're able, let's bring those palms together, interlacing those fingers, noticing that shoulder blades kind of squeezes together. We're working the upper parts of our bodies, feeling that spinal cord lengthen. For 3, 2. We're going to exhale, straighten that body, separating those palms. We're in that seated, extended mountain. And we're going to twist, turn that body towards the right, palms come down. And we're going to gaze over our right shoulder, coming into that seated twist. You may notice this twist soothes and relaxes that spinal cord. For 4, 3, 2. Exhale back to center on 1, coming into that seated star. In that star, our palms are out towards the side. In that extended mountain, our palms are up. They are not together. In that seated salute, our palms are together. So salute, palms together. Extended mountain, palms are separated. Seated star, palms are further out towards the side. We're going to take a nice deep breath. Exhale, twist that body towards the left. Palms come down, gazing over that left shoulder. Seated twist, opposite side. Noticing how this twist soothes, relaxes, and decompresses that spine. We are twisting and relaxing for 4, 3, 2. Exhale back to center, placing both of our palms on the earth at the sides of our bodies. Using our palms to connect to our environment. Just taking a moment to notice what's going on right here, right now, in our present moment, simply being aware without judgment. Maybe our eyes are slightly gazed downwards or closed. As we allow our bodies to lean towards the right, and that left arm comes up in the air, we're going to feel this stretch here in our side body. Allowing the body to relax. Now we can option to gaze forward or gaze up at the heavens or our arm. For 4, 3, 2. Exhale into center, placing that left palm on the earth as our bodies lean towards the left. Our right arm flows up towards the heavens, feeling those fingertips flow up. We're feeling that stretch in our side body, optioning to gaze forward or gaze up, whatever gaze feels best for you. For 4, 2. Take a nice breath. On 1, exhale that right palm downward towards the earth. Taking a nice deep breath in. Exhale. And we're going to breathe our feet into a bound position. Abdominal butterfly pose are bound positions. So finding whatever pose feels best for you. Diamond, feet are further away. Butterfly, feet are closer towards the body. Yeah, noticing how this works to hip flexors when we hinge slightly forward. So just allowing the torso to come closer to the earth and allow your shoulder blades to gently just melt forward. Feel that there? Tummies are tight. Now we can option to place our palms on our feet, squeezing our feet if that feels good. Or we can place our palms flat on the earth and extend our palms in front of us flat on the earth as our chin comes towards our clavicle. Now being mindful of how this feels in your body, only coming down to the earth as close as you choose that feels comfortable for your hips. We're going to relax here for 4. 2 more breaths. And we're going to slowly walk our bodies up. We are back in that bound position, either diamond or butterfly. And we're going to do a couple of seated cat-cows in this pose. And just noticing how that seated cat-cow feels in your back. As we lift the pelvic bone forward, heart chakra comes up, chin comes up. And then we're going to flow into that cat. Spinal cord flows towards the back. Chin comes to clavicle. Exhale back up to cow. Noticing how that cow feels in your hips, in your lumbar spine, in your chest. Exhaling back to cat. Really feeling that spinal cord push to the opposite of the room. Tucking that tummy in at the navel. Feeling that curvature of that spine. Exhaling back to our cow. That heart chakra lift, pelvic bone tilts forward, chin is up. And maybe do a couple more cat cows to our natural breath. 2 more breaths. Exhale back to center. Let's come into a staff pose. We're going to breathe out front, both of our legs in front of us. Yes, legs are straight forward and we're going to hinge at the hips. Now, noticing that when we hinge at the hips, you'll feel that stretch behind your legs and your hamstrings. So this is a full body stretch. A lot of people like this pose when they have tight hamstrings, when they have sciatica pain. Allowing the chest to come closer to the thighs as much as you comfortably can. Reaching your palms down to your ankles, your knees, your feet, your toes, whatever feels best for you for 4, 3, 2, we're going to slightly just point our toes downward towards the earth like we're doing our ballerina flex foot. So just point those toes down and feel that in your ankles. And then we're going to point our toes up. So we're doing a plantar dorsiflexus here. Pointing the toes up, pointing the toes down. And just noticing how that feels in your lower legs, your ankles. Just moving and circulating the blood and the lower extremities. We can also option to just twist our toes, our ankles around in circles, if that feels best for you. For 3, 2, we're going to find that pause at 1, coming into that nice deep stretch. Feeling that stretch behind your legs and your hamstrings. For 2, 1. Take a nice breath as we exhale, lift that body up. We're going to take this right foot, breathe this right foot inside into that inner thigh. Right foot comes to inner thigh. And we're going to hinge over that left thigh, noticing how that feels. 4, 3, 2, 1. And hang out here for a couple more breaths, just feeling that stretch. We're going to allow that left hand to hang out here on our left leg. And we're going to allow this right hand to come up to that right shoulder. So just breathe that right hand to that right shoulder. And we're going to slightly just twist and gaze over that right shoulder. Feel that twist in your spine. Opening up that heart, that chest. We can also option to extend that right arm up in the air and gaze at our fingertips. Feeling that extension in our neck, our backs, our leg. For 4, 3, 2. Holding on to this pose if our arms is extended up, if our arms are extended up. This left hand is already on our leg. Let's allow our left hand to come closer to the earth. We're going to try to just breathe that right arm over our heads. Feel that stretch there? Now we're feeling that stretch in that side body. And we can option to come closer to the earth and connect our hand to our foot if that feels good. I'm just going to hang out here for 3, 2, on 1. We're going to slowly come on up. Let's straighten our leg, coming into a nice wide-legged pose, straddle pose, nice and wide-legged. And let's hinge at the hips, breathing our hands towards our knees or our shins, our ankles, or our toes, if that feels best for us. Just noticing how this feels in our inner thighs and our hip flexors as we hinge forward. Our hands can be on our feet, but they also can be flat on the earth in front of us or beside us. And just allow that torso to come closer to the earth. Take a nice breath and exhale, maybe gazing the eyes down or slightly closing the eyes, feeling those shoulders melt forward, allowing the body to completely relax and soothe. For 4, 3, 2, 1 on 1. We're going to take a nice breath and exhale up, slowly using our palms to push our bodies away from the earth. Let's breathe our legs slightly inward, and then we're going to take that left foot, breathe that left foot into that right inner thigh, connecting that foot to that thigh. And we're going to slightly just turn towards that right leg and hinge at the hips, allowing that torso to hover over that thigh, feeling that stretch behind that right leg. And reaching our palms down to our knees, our ankles, or our feet. And just gazing the eyes down or closing our eyes, melting the shoulders forward. Allowing the body to relax and soothe for 4, 3, 2. Take a nice breath. Exhale on 1. We're going to hold this pose, allowing that right hand to stay connected to that right leg. Right leg is still extended in front of us. And we're going to just slightly, let's take this left fingertips, breathe it towards our left shoulders and slightly come up just a little. Feeling that slight spinal twist. See that there? Just twisting like we're trying to look over our shoulder to see what's behind us. And we can gaze up at the heavens if that feels good, or gaze forward. Whatever gaze feels best for you and your body. Tummies are nice and tight. 4, 3, 2. And on that 1, we can option to extend the arm up in the air. Fingertips is flowing up towards the heavens, and we're gazing at the fingertips if we choose. For 4 more breaths. 3, 2. Holding this pose, we're going to allow our right hand to just relax on the earth next to our leg. And we're going to slightly just breathe this left arm over our head if we can, feeling that nice deep stretch. And we can option to gaze forward or gaze up. Whatever gaze feels best for you. We can also come closer to the earth in that stretch if you choose. And hang out here for 4, 3, 2, feeling that stretch. And on that 1, we're going to slightly just exhale our bodies and just relaxing our palms on our laps. Let's breathe that leg back into that straddle pose, extending both feet in front of us. They are nice and wide-legged. Let's hinge at the hips, feeling that stretch, hinge forward. Maybe we'll come down on our elbows and prayer hands if that feels good. Keep that chin up. Eyes slightly gaze down and closed. Palms at heart center. Well, palms at heart center, but we are still on our elbows. We're relaxing on our elbows. And let's just take a moment to rock and sway that body from side to side. We're not going to do any standing poses today. Notice that when you come to the far right, you'll feel that pull in your hamstrings. Slowly come in to center as we flow to the left. And now you'll feel that pull in your opposite leg. Nice stretch, lengthening pose here. We're going to do this for 6 breaths, going as fast or as slow as you choose. 5. Really feeling that stretch and that pull behind your legs. 4, 3, 2, nice breath. Palms flat on the earth. Extend our palms in front of us flat on the earth, noticing how our torso comes closer to the earth. For 3, 2, 1. We're going to use our palms to walk our bodies back up. We are back in that wide-legged straddle pose. And we're going to do a couple of seated cat-cows here in that wide-legged straddle. Just tilting that pelvic bone up, lifting that chest up, chin is up, cow. Exhaling to cat, spinal cord flows to the back, making that C-spine, chin comes to clavicle, cat pose. Tummies are nice and tight. Exhale back to cow, pelvic bone tilts forward, heart chakra's lifted, chin is up. Exhale back to cat. Let's come back to a neutral position and let's slightly breathe our legs inward. Let's take our feet off the earth and just hug our feet into our chest. Noticing how that feels. Let's play a little bit with our ankles here. And we're going to breathe our feet up like we're in our boat pose. We are actually in our boat pose, but I'm limited to how I can get into this pose. So we're in that boat pose. And let's just cross our feet in front of each other, up and down. And you'll feel we're working our abdominals. We're also working our legs. Our backs are straight, keeping that nice, elongated, strong back. That's what's keeping us up in our pose, that nice, strong spinal cord. And noticing how this feels here in your your lower, and your tummy. You may even feel it in your outer legs as well. Especially if you have ankles on your feet, your ankles, you will really feel this pose working several muscle groups here. For 5, 4, 3, 2. Now let's find that pause. Anyone who need a break, take a break. But if you do not, let's go into a couple of bicycles. Left and right. Twisting the obliques a little bit. Turning that torso from left to right. We're doing our bicycle poses. You can come flatter to the earth, meaning coming flatter. Your back comes closer to the earth, but I'm limited space here. So I'm in an upright position. But let's do our bicycles. Feeling those legs working. Feeling those obliques, our abdominals. This is our yogic bicycles for 5, 4, 3, feel it burn, 2, we're going to find that pose at 1. Keep your legs up. Breathe your legs into your chest. Hug those knees into your chest. Maybe cross your feet at your ankles if you choose and hug your knees with your arms, your elbows. Rest pose. Point those toes downward towards the earth or up or keep them neutral. I'm going to point mine down, whatever you choose. Hugging our legs in. Egg pose, eggshell pose. Breathe in. Exhale. We're also balancing here. Feel that balance in the body? It's a small balance, but it's a balance all the same. We can keep that heart chakra lifted, chin is up if we choose. We can also option 2, gaze our eyes down or close our eyes to help focus on that balance. For 5, 4, 3, 2, let's take a nice breath. Exhale on 1. And we're going to come into let's try to connect our right hand to our right foot and extend it. We're in our boat pose variation. Right hand comes to right foot. Feel that stretch? Boat pose variation. And we can option to keep that knee up, or we can slightly breathe that knee to the side and connect our left hand to left foot. And we have our extended right hand to right foot. See that there? There's many boat pose variations that we can do. We can also come both hands to toes and be wide-legged. This is a nice deep stretch boat pose variation. But we're going to play around with this one right here. And you'll feel this stretch behind your leg and your hamstring. And now we can option to, see how my leg is forward? We can option to breathe that leg laterally out to the side. And you'll feel that stretch a little differently in the body. As much as your body can come laterally. I'm going to keep mine semi because that table's right there. And optioning once again to point the toes, flexing the foot. If that feels good for you, chin is up, heart chakras lifted, tummies are nice and tight. This too is also a balancing pose as well as a stretching and lifting pose. For 4, 3, 2, take a nice deep breath. Exhale on 1. Let's breathe that right leg in. Hug our knees into our chest. Hug, hug. Cross our feet at our ankles if we choose. Breathe in through the nose. Exhale for 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to switch sides here. We're going to breathe the left hand to the left foot. See that there? Let's extend that left leg out to the side, nice and wide, nice and straight. Lengthening that leg. Again, we can option to come laterally, breathing that leg slightly towards the left. We can keep it slightly forward. We can option to continue to hold and hug our right knee into our chest. See that there? Pointing our toes, having our toes up, down, or neutral. I like to point my toes. We can also option to slightly bend that leg and grab the foot. See that there? And we are feeling the body stretch and lengthen here. Being mindful, we can stay forward. We don't have to breathe that leg laterally. Just listening to your body and doing what feels best for you. The goal is to stretch, lengthen, loosen, and relax. For 4, 3, tummies are nice and tight. 2, nice deep breath. Feel that stretch. And let's option to extend both legs out in front of us. Now we can option to bend our knees in this extension if that feels best. So we can bend those knees if needed, or we can keep our legs nice and straight. Now this is our boat pose variation. Again, if you look it up online, there's so many different boat pose variations. I really like this stretch because it just allows you to lengthen, relax, soothe, and also balance. Again, keeping the back straight, stacking that spinal cord is going to keep us up in this pose. Tummies are nice and tight. This is also called a bear pose, with bear having their feet in their hand. We're going to hang out here for another 4 breaths. 3, tummies are tight. 2, nice breath. Exhale, 1. Let's hug our knees in. Eggshell, hugging our knees into our chest. Tummy's nice and tight. Chin is up. Heart chakra's lifted for 3, 2, 1. Hanging out here, just taking a moment to check in with body. Being mindful of how we feel right here, right now in our present moment. If all feels well, we're going to let's place those feet on the earth and we're going to come into our tabletop pose. Just coming onto our hands and our knees. And let's do a couple of cat-cows here. Just loosening up the hip flexors a little more in our original cat-cow pose. Knees are hip distance apart. Palms are flat on the earth. Tummies are tucked in at the navel. Let's drop that body down to cow. In that cow pose, you'll feel that curvature in your lumbar spine. That nice deep dip. Chin is up. Exhale the cat. Breathing that tummy in. Spinal cord flows up towards the heaven. Chin comes to clavicle, comes towards your chest. And maybe do a couple of cat-cows to our natural breath. And let's come back to table in our neutral position here. We're going to focus. So we're back in table. We're in neutral pose. And we're going to just slightly come into that cow. Just feel that dip here in your lumbar spine, just a little. And now we're going to breathe those knees just slightly apart, a little bit further. And we're going to do a couple of circular rotations here at our hips. So we are loosening our hip flexors, also our lumbar spine, that lower back, allowing us to relax, move, ease a little bit more easily. Remember, motion is lotion. The more we move our bodies, the more we relax and soothe those ligaments in our joints. So moving the hips, and then let's take it in the opposite direction. It's a holiday weekend. A lot of people are just trying to do things, just trying to get out. Even if you don't celebrate July 4th, it's just a nice time to just have a couple days off, knowing that people are just out there happy and just doing themselves, just being happy. So maybe we can use this week to just relax, do something that feels good within our mind and in our bodies. Maybe go out, take a walk, go to a movie, go to an amusement park. And before we go and do these things, maybe stretch, maybe relax, and maybe soothe. As we are mindful of how these circular rotations here feels in our hips. The hips is how we move, is how we get around. The lumbar back, the lumbar spine is also how we feel healthy and strong and want to do things. If we have back pain, we're not going to want to do much. So being mindful of the hip health and back spinal cord health. And we're going to find that pause. Let's flow back to that to that cat. Exhale to cow. Let's flow into a down dog. Just gazing at the feet. And maybe we can pedal our feet by moving our legs left and right. We're going to find that pause. Nice deep stretch in this down dog. Just feeling that stretch. Just feeling the buttocks come closer to the heavens. Feeling your torso come closer. And we're going to flow to an up dog. Up dog is our thighs are not on the earth. Up dog. See that there? Working the arms, the shoulders, and the back blades. Let's do a couple push-ups in the up dog. Skylar, I know you're not going to try this. Don't even try. Then we're going to come back to that down dog. So Skylar, maybe in this pose, maybe you can relax in a puppy pose or a child's pose. Skylar, if that feels good for you. Child's pose or puppy pose. The rest of us, we are in our up dog, down dog positions, working the shoulders, the back, the arms. Let's come back to our up dog. Our thighs are not connected to the earth. Noticing how this up dog feels in that lumbar spine. We're also working the arms, the shoulders, and the back. Optioning to do a couple of push-ups here. And then we're going to flow back to that down dog. Now let's option to flow into a dolphin, coming onto our forearms here in that dolphin pose. We're on our forearms and we are gazed at the back of the room. Now, this dolphin pose is a down dog is also an inversion, but a dolphin pose is a deeper inversion. This is a pose we use when we're going into that headstand prep. Skylar is probably going to be in her puppy pose. I'm going to hang out here. We're going to hang out here in our dolphin pose, but the puppy pose is dropping the knees to the earth. Buttocks are still high in the air. See that there? Arch comes closer to the earth. So if you want to come into puppy, feel free to come into puppy. Or if you're in that dolphin, let's stay in dolphin for a couple more breaths. 3, 2. Now, take a nice breath. Exhale to our knees. Now let's come into that puppy pose, puppy pose. Buttocks is high in the air. Our legs are closer together. Torso comes downward towards the earth. Palms are extended in front of us, flat on the earth. Making this an extended puppy pose. It's extended because our arms are in front of us, straight, flat down. And noticing how this puppy pose feels in that lumbar spine. And we can also option to wag that tail here in our puppy pose. Noticing how that massages and soothes the lumbar spine. Or we can simply stay still in that puppy pose with our forehead, our third eye chakra connected to the earth if we choose. We also can just relax our right or left ear to the earth. But I like my forehead connected to the earth. Breathe in deeply. Exhale. And notice and allow the shoulders to melt forward closer to the earth. Feeling that heart chakra, your chest connect to the earth, to the yoga mat. It might not be touching, but just feel it connecting, becoming one. As we use this time to relax and soothe and go inward, let's make it 7 breaths of silence, 7 breaths of self-care. Four more breaths. Two breaths. And now let's option to come into a child's pose. Whatever type of child's pose feels best for you. Our legs are slightly wider apart, allowing our torso, giving our torso space to relax between our thighs and our child's pose. Heart chakra is closer to the earth. It might even be touching, and for some people. Extended child's pose, palms are in front of us, flat on the earth. We can also come into prayer hand, child's pose, palms together over our head. We also can cradle our bodies in our child's pose, breathing our hands to our feet. Heart chakra, chin comes to the earth. I'm sorry, forehead, third eye chakra or chin comes to the earth. We're going to hang out here in this child's pose for 5 more breaths. Two more breaths. Hanging out here in this pose, let's extend our arms in front of us if they're not already, palms flat on the earth, and we're going to spinal wave our bodies out of that child's pose, using our palms to wave that body forward. Feel that wave, and then using the palms to push the buttocks towards the heels of the feet. This is a spinal wave. It is working, soothing and relaxing, decompressing the entire spinal cord, optioning to also move your neck. In this position, feeling the momentum for 4, 3, 2, 1. Finding that pause. Let's come back to our tabletop position and let's drop down to cow. Exhale, cat. Now let's come on to our tummies. Let's flow into a Superman, Supergirl. We're just going to take our legs off the earth. See that there? And our arms off the earth. So we're in that Superman, Supergirl. Pregnant people should not be in this pose ever. Even if you just found out you're pregnant, do not do this pose ever. So this is Superman, Supergirl, legs off the earth, palms off the earth, and we're working the backs of our legs, our arms, our backs. For 4, let's make it 5, 4, 3, 2, hang out here. Let's flow. Let's swim our palms towards the back. Let's come into locust pose. Our feet are still off the earth, but our arms are towards the back. Palms are up. Locust pose for 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's swim my hands back forward. Let's come into a crocodile, relaxing, sleeping crocodile. Stacking our palms on top of each other. Our feet, our legs are relaxed to the earth. And we're going to just relax our chin or our cheeks or our forehead onto our palms. Allowing those shoulder blades to melt forward. Eyes are slightly gazed downward or closed. Breathe in deeply. Exhale. May we relax for 7 breaths of silence. Four more breaths. Three, 2, we're going to slowly awaken from that sleeping alligator, and we're going to slightly just roll onto our side or our backs, and we're going to come into a reclined spinal twist. So we can come onto our side and come into a fetal pose if we choose, or we can roll deeper on our back and come into that reclined spinal twist. Can't really see my body position because of the limited space, but I think we all know what that reclined spinal twist look or what that fetal pose looks like. This is a nice deep spinal twist, relaxing and soothing that spinal cord. For 6 breaths. 4, 2, 1. We're going to exhale to center if we are in our reclined spinal twist. And if we are in our fetal pose, we're going to do the fetal pose on the opposite side. That reclined spinal twist, we're going to just twist those legs to the opposite side, and we're going to turn the body going the other way. Reclined spinal twist, opposite side. Fetal pose, opposite side. We're using this pose. The reclined spinal twist is relaxing and soothing that spine. The fetal pose is relaxing and soothing the mind and body. Five more breaths. Hmm. 3, 2. Take a nice breath and exhale. And we're going to option to come out of the fetal pose, option to come out of the reclined spinal twist, and option to go into Shavasana, just laying straight on our backs. Or we can come into crack it out pose, relaxing, crack it out. Or we can find our bodies in a comfortable seated pose. Whatever position you feel as though you want to end the session in, may you take that position, may you take that pose, may you take that asana. We're going to use the last couple of moments to come into our pose of choice, allowing our minds and bodies to relax and soothe. Once again, whatever pose that feels best for you. I'm coming into a cow face legs. Maybe take a nice deep breath in. Exhale. Just feel in the body, relax and soothe. Eyes or gaze down or close. Our facial muscles are relaxed. Our chin is relaxed. Our forehead is relaxed. Taking a moment to notice how we feel right here, right now, in our present moment, simply being aware. Always being mindful to be kind and loving to oneself. Forgiving oneself, taking it easy on oneself. 10 breaths of silence. Three more breaths. Palms at heart center if that feels good for you. Maybe use this time to thank ourselves for allowing ourselves to practice self-care here today. For in a busy, busy world, it is a beautiful thing when we find time for self. And I would like to thank you all for allowing me to practice self-care with you here today, and for it truly, truly is a blessing. The light in me sees, appreciates, and respects the light in you all. Namaste.